live early. Well, I think it's time. I forgot my spit bucket again. Oh no. This is gonna be so exciting. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a weekly series that I called Untold Burgundy, where I tell a story of a very unknown, untold, obviously, appellation in Burgundy and that's it. Today, I'm very, very happy to present a truly a gem, a place that no one knows. Montagny. All right, today you're gonna get acquainted with Montagny. Okay, it's a steal. Really, it's a wine that is so affordable, that is so wallet friendly. It's a steal. Well, you know what? Actually, some people refer to Montagny as their house white Burgundy. That means that you can just buy like tons of it because it's so cheap most of the time. But it's definitely an understatement. Okay, it's not like a wine to open and just whatever, drink whatever. No. That's not what Montagny is. It's much more sophisticated than that. So Montagny is 100% white appellation. If you have seen the previous episodes of this series, if you haven't, come on. I predominantly talked about the appellations that are dedicated to red wine, and this one is 100% Chardonnay. So Montagny can only be a white wine. Might be a strange rule if you think about it, but if you're like me, you're probably already thinking, oh, well, wait a second, but why would that rule even be in place? Well, think about it. There are specific soil types that throughout the year have shown themselves as friends of certain types of grape varieties. Yeah. That means, for instance, if your soil type is predominantly clay, you would very strongly consider planting red grapes on that soil, because the clay as a soil type really supports the tannic structure of the red wines, and it just gives them little like a backbone. And if you see that, okay, you know what, the soil type on the area where I want to grow my grapes is predominantly limestone and marl, which this is what we have in the Montagny, that means that you would strongly consider growing white grapes in that area. And Chardonnay is just perfect for that. The soils of Montagny is, as we have established, a marl and limestone predominantly. They originate back to Jurassic periods, like most of Burgundy, millions of years ago. They appeared first. And the thing is that there are a couple of parcels that still have this very rare Kimmeridgian soil type, which is absolutely unique. And you can find it in Chablis quite a lot. And the Kimmeridgian soils, they also have this fossilized little, little sea creatures that kind of left over from that period where Burgundy was covered by a vast tropical sea, again, millions of years ago. And you also have this like a little oyster shells, a little bit of chalk. These soils produce wines with spectacular minerality, just absolutely electric minerality. And that's, to me, Montagny is the little sister of Chablis, just much more affordable, and unfortunately without any Grand Crus. The general profile of Montagny is very flowery. So think of acacia, mayflower, that little orchard blooming in the spring. It's very sensual. Also, they have this lovely limey, lemony, minty, kind of Melissa undertones, which is, with time, Montagny wines can also develop this lovely kind of like gunpowder or flinty touch, something bit of a smoky. And if you age them in oak, then hazelnut, fresh almonds, nothing too oaky. Most of the Montagnys, the style that I've tasted, is just extremely fresh. Yep. If you're curious about the name Montagny, it comes from the word mountain, which is montagne in French. So Montagny, montagne. As I said, most of the places in Burgundy, or just the whole region of Burgundy, is quite bumpy, so lots of slopes. That's why most of the sub-regions of Burgundy, their names start with côte, which literally means slope, or actually coast even, but yeah, slope in this case, it's slope. And winemakers. So a lot of really reputable winemakers do wine in Montagny. For instance, Louis Latour, an amazing name. And he is aging his Montagny in steel tanks, really reputable name. He's aging his Montagny in steel tanks, and you just get this lovely, exactly what you expect from a younger sister of Chablis. Lovely tension, lovely grip. It's really well loved. His Montagny is really, really well loved. And it is, again, cannot stress it enough, So affordable, you guys. So affordable. Another good and very solid name to remember is Cave de Bussy. They're actually Cave Coopérative, which means like a co-op. But they've been on the market since 1931, if I'm not mistaken. So really like a solid reputation, and their prices are, wow, out of this world. You can get one of the cheapest Montagnys from Cave de Bussy. Like apart from low prices, they actually managed to have a really consistent quality, which is not always the case with these co-ops. So you're really in good hands with them. And plus they're really available everywhere in the world. You can find them in every little hidden corner of the world. Another great name to follow is Févelé. If you watched my Mercure video, I talked about Févelé a little bit. This is a wonderful domaine as well. And they have amazing little appellations from Côte Chalonnaise, which is where the Montagny is located as well. Yeah, so like I'm thinking like everybody wants to have a piece of Montagny, which is no wonder. It's a true treasure. And I have chosen a pretty, I want to say timid domaine for us today. Let's see what it has. Now, first of all, I'm going to tell you, okay, again, 2019. If you don't know by now that 2019 is my favorite vintage, I don't even know, you guys, honestly, because this is my favorite vintage and it should be a favorite vintage of everybody because it's so good. Here it is. Lovely Montagny. It's even a premier cru, le Vieux Château, translated as an old castle. So they only age it 10 months in 60% of oak barrels. So that's pretty cool. I think that the rest is in steel tanks. Yeah, 60% and 40% in steel tanks. So just this is a perfect light lemon color. This is what it is. It's a perfect light lemon color. If you don't know how light lemon looks like, this is it. Just a beautiful citrusy tickle. This is what you get in the nose. Mint, melissa are definitely a bit of acacia too. Maybe a bit of white peaches too, or a pear, like a super nice ripe green pear. I love the tickle. My goodness. Just such a wonderful wine. I'm so happy that I got to introduce Montagny to you, because I have to tell you that not many wine shops have that wine or introduce that wine. A bit of lemongrass. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Oh my God. They're so wonderfully playful, young-spirited, you know? And I love this tightness, tight muscle that it just grabs your palate and it's not letting go. Puts this very pleasant pressure on all of your palate. Amazing wine. I'm so happy I'm doing this series. I'm kind of rediscovering this stuff for me. Really, you guys, look out for Montagny. And if you want to be on the safe side, check out 2019 vintage. Beautiful vintage, especially for the white wines. Everything I had in 2019 just conquered me. This vintage just absolutely conquered me. Love it. And no, I don't think it's too young to enjoy. What a treat, you guys. I'm just longing for cheese again, for goat cheese again, but well, it's not gonna happen to light minty touch too. And just exactly the right amount of oak. I think I'm just gonna give them a little applause because I think they achieved it wonderfully. Just perfection. Exactly the right amount of oak to just slightly kind of give it a little backup, you know, and then everything else sings like a song. Lovely. Thank you for watching. I'm going to see you very soon.